Greetings, everyone. How are you? Happy December 14th, day after December 13th. And nothing happened. I don't see what the big deal is about that Friday the 13th thing. But we're all here. And I hope you're doing well. I am chilly in Chicago. And I went out on my day off and made a few groceries and ran a few errands and went out there without a scarf. And as soon as I got home, what started happening? Started coughing. Soon as that sun went down. Shame on me. I know better. Oh, I know better. But you don't have to tell me twice. Uh-oh, here come a cough now. Excuse me. Well, at least I'm honest about it. I went out there without a scarf. Shame on me. I know better. I know better. It's not like I don't know better. Oh, I know better. What to do? What to do? Just do better. That's all you got to do. So you got to own when you do something wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Own it because you can grow from that.
So
That's
true.
all.
But I'm just saying though, Shar, how many moons ago did you learn that lesson? When you go outside in the cold, you wear a scarf, you wear a hat, you make sure you protect yourself fully from that cold. How many moons ago did you learn this lesson that you still ain't listening to? That's all I want to know.
19. Yeah.
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 About that long. Exactly.
But actually, what happened is now I'm wearing glasses. And because the glasses fog up, sometimes if it's anything above 30 degrees, I won't wear a scarf. So I took my cell phone out there with no scarf on. I think it was 35, and it was fine until that temperature dipped a little bit and the wind, coming off the lake because I'm going downtown. And I'm not too far from downtown anyway, but I knew better. Oh, I knew better. But hey, I'm honest about it. I knew better. I didn't want my glasses fogging up. Didn't want to deal with that, but I'm just gonna be foggy from now on. Just call me foggy.
You took the risk. You took the risk, and now you have the consequence. So, we all learned a valuable lesson from Shar not learning a valuable lesson.
Oh yeah, I've learned. I know better, and I will do better. I promise. Pinky
Scout's
swear.
honor. No fingers crossed behind your back.
No,
No,
not this time. Not this. Yeah, because I want this cough to go away, and I know it was something I could have done about it. But I'm running around out there without a scarf on for the past 4 or 5 days. So it's all on me. So I know better. So.
Sure. Like, I thought this was a one-time slip up. 4 or 5 days. Like, right, I have no sympathy for you now. You learned nothing.
But see, it was right around 40. So I thought I was good. I really did. I said, oh, I'm not going to be out there long, go straight to the train and, get on the train. It'll be fine. But keep doing it every day, several days. And now we to another Saturday, and what happens? Sun go down, and I get to coughing. Yep, all guilty. It's me.
Yep. This reminds me of the things that teenage Ruby did all the time. Where it's like, I don't need an umbrella. Yeah, but it's going to rain. But it's not raining now, so it'll probably be fine. I'm just going to be walking from here to here. I'm barely going to be outside, right? And then, of course, it downpours. I end up being outside for some reason for 10 minutes. I'm soaking wet. I end up with like the flu or pneumonia or something terrible. And then I had the nerve to blame everyone but me. Why didn't I just bring the stupid umbrella? It was just why? Just because my mama told me to bring the umbrella, I was definitely not bringing that umbrella. That was what it came down to. Like it's like I knew better. I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. We just have to get a just have to suffer the consequences, and the key word is suffer. And once you,
mm-hmm,
feel a bit of that, then you make a better decision, and there you go. Most of the
mm-hmm.
time, not all the time, but most of the time.
Most of the time. Well, I mean, Shar just proved that 5 days in a row you can make the same decision, get the same result, and still get up on the sixth day and do it again. But yeah, most of the time, eventually,
Mhm. Guilty, right here,
right?
right over here. I am guilty. Yep, that's me. But
Mm,
anyway, other than that, I'm doing well, and hope everyone else out there is doing well. And thank you for coming and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And I do mean everything is support. Your presence is support. You've given a thumbs up is support. Your donations to the channel is support. All of it can be used for the future. So thank you so much for showing up. Appreciate you. Yep, yep, yep. So other than that, I only have, I guess maybe one particular thing I wanted to mention. I had a couple more things, but I didn't even go through my little list to pull it out. Um, I wanted to talk about, and not necessarily Cuba Gooding Jr. Period. Just him in general, but the fact that once someone is accused of any type of sexual misconduct, folks come out of the woodworks. And I just
mm-hmm,
wanted to talk about the fact that if you have that to happen to you, how long do you wait before you say something? I mean, what is average? What's normal? Um, I just wanted to go into the mind of someone that's been assaulted, if they actually have been. And
okay.
so I gave myself an example. I'm going to use myself as an example. And I thought about it, went back in time. I thought about when I was, I think I was 19. Yeah, I was 19. And doing the heavy patting and all that kind of stuff with this guy. And I didn't want to go any further, and he did. And that was a little experience. Um, and after that, um, I just thought about it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to put myself in that situation again. And been doing pretty good for 30 years later. Been doing pretty well. So
Right.
I'm thinking about if I was to see this man on television, whether he was an actor, singer, whatever, would I actually come out and say, "Hey, you tried to go too far with me. You assaulted me. I'm getting in line with whoever else." And I said, no, I wouldn't do that. I
Mm,
had that experience, and what did I do between that time and 30 years later? I moved on. And now I know everyone's experience is different. Now, rape is totally different, so I can't even imagine, someone going through that. So I'm not even going to try to. But as far as um, just being uncomfortable, someone groping you, touching you, you didn't want it, and all that kind of stuff, and especially even if it's public, because from my understanding, this was public.
mm,
Some stories you hear are not, it's done behind the scenes, but you have to look at your role in it. You also, what do you do after that? How do you, whatever the assault is, if it is as far as rape, how far do you go um, to get help? Um, so you can heal. How do you do that? Now, I don't know if it's a such thing as you never be healed from that. I don't know. So I'm not even going to speak about that. But I'm going to go back to the assault part. Someone touched your breast, felt on your booty, you didn't like that, pinch this, pinch that, or whatever. What do you do when you see that person on television 20 years later, 30 years later? Do you come out and say, hey, that happened to me? I'm going to sue you because I remember you touched me? Ugh, come on now. Come on.
Well,
What?
here's an important fact, right? Now, let's change up the details of your story a little bit, okay?
All right.
And then ask me if this changes your perception at all. Let's
All
say
right.
now, so you see same guy, right? And we'll say, 5, 10 years ago, you see he made it big, right? And you're like, ugh, that lech, like, fine, whatever. As you said, you're like to say something now, like whatever. I made my peace. I made my choice back then not to say anything. It is what it is. And then let's say earlier this year, a woman comes out. She tells a story that sounds exactly like the start of your story,
Mm-hmm.
only it ends in her being violently raped. And then person after person comes out and tells a story. Again, they all sound so much like your experience. So it echoes exactly the same thing. And it starts from the nice guy part of it, which is why you were dating and da 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 da. And only
Mm-hmm.
it just went worse than your experience. And when you listen, you trace back the stories, you recognize that none of these stories happen until 6 months to a year after your experience with him. So then you think to yourself, well, maybe I was his first, that he went a little too far and I didn't say something. And because I didn't say something,
Mm-hmm.
he felt empowered to go further and further until he became this predator who attacked so many people. And if I had said something, then all of those women would have been okay. I could have prevented all of those women from being hurt. And now they are having the strength and the power. Some of them, yes, from years ago, from my time, but some of them from more recently to finally speak out against him, even though he has money and power now and all the reasons in the world for people not to believe them. But I
Uh-huh.
believe them because I had that experience with him. So I know they're not lying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, do you think that changes your perception at all, where you would be like, you know what, okay, I will come out too because I know that they're not lying. And this, I can't believe that I didn't say anything before this, and that because I didn't say something, someone went through something worse than when I did.
Okay. So you're asking me, and the answer would be no. But
Really?
that's
Okay.
but that but that's just me though.
Hmm. No, and,
Um.
and that's fair enough. That's why I wanted to ask, because
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think for some of these women that's what it is. So that's why I wanted to know, what would you think about that?
Yeah. And then for those who do say something, what I'm finding is people are getting in line for money. They're not getting in line to say, "Hey, I had a similar experience." It's the greed from all that I've been seeing, all these stories of these people. And then later on, it's proven that they're lying. Um, so I guess I'm kind of leaning on that because I've been finding more lies than truth. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they all were celebrities at the time. They weren't Joe Blow. If they were Joe Blow, and then they became a big star, or whatever, I still think it would have been a different turnout. I think
Mm-hmm.
they would have got in line, also for the money. I don't think it would be a big difference. But that's what a lot of these people are doing. Is they're getting in line and they're lying, and that's the thing that I'm hating. It's a lot of lying. If you
Mm-hmm.
had that experience and it happened to you, um, mm, less likely than not, you're exaggerating 20 and 30 years later. I'm just, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, let's ask this question now, right?
Okay.
So now, if because and here's the thing, right? And I mean, for those people who were, and I'm not trying to downplay anyone's experiences because you know what, trauma is not a competition and people get to win, right? Trauma is trauma. It is what it is. But
Correct.
I do make a distinction between someone who was physically touched in an appropriate way versus someone
Hmm.
who was even there's a difference between that between being penetrated even by fingers, versus someone who's raped, right? I mean, you
Oh
have
yeah.
to put those on different levels as far as how deep that trauma goes, and probably also the of amount of damage it's going to create, how many things in your life it's going to impact, um, how long it's going to take you to recover, or if you ever do recover. Um,
Hmm.
right. So there's a bunch of different factors. Now, let's say, I mean, and this is part of the thing, right? Because we're talking about, I mean, Americans, y'all have a culture where like y'all sue for everything, right? Like the things that Americans think to sue for, we barely here in Canada think to even complain to a manager about. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like it's in a litigious country where everyone is looking to make a buck. So there is a different cultural idea in America versus Canada. Um, and so with that being said, right, it's sometimes it's hard for me to put my mind into their shoes because money isn't the first thing I think of whenever everything goes wrong, but it is the first thing every American thinks of. How can I make a buck off of my trauma? um so now with that being said though, if you know, right, which I mean is a fair point, and I'm going to guess that some of these people who did make true allegations probably did go behind the scenes and said, hey, listen, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pay me what I think your career is worth. Because if I had said something all those years back when you did this terrible thing to me, you wouldn't have this career because you would have went to jail for being a sexual predator. You would have come out as a sexual predator. Your career never would have gotten off of its feet, or it would have died in the water right then, like so many people's careers did. But because I didn't do that, you got to become a multi-billionaire. So I think my piece of the puzzle of your success is worth this. And so when I think about the years of trauma really you did to me, all the dysfunctional relationships, the years of therapy I had to pay for, the fact that I still can't trust my husband to look at me with my clothes off, blah, 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 all of the stuff, I think it's worth this much. And I think if you pay me that much, I will keep my mouth shut. Um, and people get cocky and they go, you can't do nothing, you're a nobody, who's going to believe you? Everyone. It's a Me Too era, everyone will believe them, don't be stupid. And I think that's what it is. I think they take the gamble that no one's going to believe them or it won't really impact them that badly or whatever, and these women say, nah, I'm going to go get my payday because he got a payday off of me keeping silent, right? And see, I mean, you see that kind of bitter mentality and the angry mentality and the revenge mentality in people who used to be in love and are now divorcing, right? I'm going to hurt you the way you hurt me. I am going to get mine before you get yours. I'm going to get mine so you can't get yours, right? Um, you see that a lot. And for people to hold on to that level of malice to try to demolish you because you hurt them, I feel like there's got to be some truth to that. Now, obviously, a whole bunch of fake allegations are going to come out of the woodworks. Why? Because again, America wants to make a buck. I've slept with that guy before. I'm going to pretend that it was assault so I can make my little money too, right? Okay, those women are atrocious. They're bottom feeding trash. I despise anyone who would lie about any type of assault claim, right? But let's take away all these liars, which it's hard to filter truth from lies when it is a he said, she said. But I'm gonna guess that at least one, maybe two of these allegations are true. And every time that there is an allegation, they aren't picking people out of a hat. They're not picking people at random. I don't think,
Hmm.
at least, right? And so then it comes down to, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, do we think that this guy has a right to his unblemished career and reputation more than, she has a right. She had a right to have her body not be misused, and now she has a right for you to pay her for pain and suffering. I guess that's really the balance we're looking at sometimes.
Hmm. Um, I love how you said that. That's going to be a great conversation for years to come. Um, and I'll just throw one little twist in there um, to just, to finish it off, I guess. And what is the price of pain or suffering um, for 20 or 30 years and you lived your life and you've done whatever you've done in your life, whether you married and had kids, and, successful career, housewife, whatever you became, and what have what is the price tag that will make you feel better, make it all go away. And I think that's the biggest question for me. How much cash makes it better? So that's what I want to mention
Hmm.
and put out
Okay.
there because that's what I'm saying.
Well, for me right now, let's see. How much cash would make me feel better about my life? Well, you
Oh,
start off paying off all my debts. So if my debts are cleared, the debts of my parents are cleared. My children will, I don't have any, so my hypothetical four children all have college funds coming to them. I can buy a house, a very, very nice house, free and clear with lots of land and whatever, with no worry about mortgages and stuff like that. I've got money in the bank that I can put away for retirement and saving stocks and bonds. Like basically when I die, I want to make sure that my children are multimillionaires, each one of them individually, because of the way that that money matured, and a very nice comfortable cushion, so that basically if I never worked again, if my husband never worked again, if we had took trips every year, if we lived a good life comfortably, not like ridiculously, right? I'm not a self-made millionaire, but we lived a good life comfortably and intelligently. Invested ourselves slowly in a business and stuff like that. That we would live the good life. That would be my price tag. Yeah. So.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so more money, more money, more money.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I'm saying
okay.
if there's a price tag and I get to
Hmm.
choose, that's the price tag I choose. I'm just saying that would make me feel a little bit better about my life, right? Because like my school debt in and of itself, and I'm not done school, is already like what, $40,000. I'm not done. My master's and PhD program is going to be wicked hella high. When I just think about the cost of life and living, when I think about how many times I screwed up in school in post secondary because of depression, because of my PTSD rearing up, and I lost basically like almost a year of just getting D's. I didn't even do anything. I just was so in a hole. And now I can't afford to take any of my courses online because my university takes all of those courses. Me and my mom were talking about this actually. If we do the courses online, there are a bunch of places we can go and do the courses online. But then when they're transferred to my school, they're transferred just as pass or fail. But I can't afford for them to transfer as just pass or fail because of that year of D's that I got while I was, in my untreated depression and PTSD. So the fact that my schooling has been on hold for how many years and I can't do the online thing, and that's attributed to PTSD and depression, which I might not have if it was not for the douche who, took my virginity at 15. So I can keep going back. I'm telling you, I could connect all kinds of things. If I really sat down and put a dollar amount on where I think my life could have been, and when the past diverged where my life is now, and my own debt, and then the kind of person that I am, where I'm the type of person who needs to take care of everyone else for me to be happy, which is why I listed my parents' debt and whatever in my price tag. I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally put a price tag on it. I could. because I can't take back the past. I can't take back all those years of trauma and therapy and this and that. I can't take any of that back. Um, but can I look at it and say, I think it was the blacklist. On the blacklist, I'm not sure if anyone has seen the most recent season. Um, there was one of the criminals. Basically, that's what he did. He put a price tag, a monetary price tag, on everyone's individual life based on a bunch of different elements, like how much do they contribute to, the world being a better place and stuff like that. And he could literally put a value on everyone's life, and based on a trade-off between your life versus this other person's life, um, you know, who deserves to die? Does witness against you, or do you deserve to go to prison or die? Right? Like, he could put a price tag on that. Insurance companies do it. Car companies do it all the time. What's the price of a human life? What's the price of a human life in the back seat of a car? He was pointing out all these different ways that these companies put a price tag on life. So if we can put a price tag on human life, I think we can put a price tag on individual experiences and where those experiences brought us. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Hmm. Well, sound like some people gonna need a. Some of these guys gonna need a layaway plan because I
Right?
don't know. No, but I'll leave that one alone, and I will say that you will be hearing a sound bite coming up this week. That's all I'm gonna say. I hear it coming.
Right? I know. Lord Jesus. Never mind what the other streams are about to say about Ruby now. Ruby says, God
It's
damn
all
me and
right
my honesty. See that honesty thing again, Shards. At least we're honest, but god damn.
though. Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do?
Right?
All right.
No.
Did you have anything to share?
Um, I want to talk a little bit about step parentry. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't send you this. And now there's been a couple of sad stories in the media this week. And I mean, this is not a case that just happened. This is a case that a woman was just convicted. Shock of all shocks, a white woman was convicted for murdering a black child. Um, thank God, finally. Um, but with that being said, now she was this little girl's step parent. Um, now,
Hmm.
yeah, her name is Cynthia Baker, 41-year-old Cynthia Baker. She was found guilty of murder, aggravated battery, endangering the life of a child, and domestic battery in the death of Rika Roundtree. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, now, Rika Roundtree, and take a look at this article. This beautiful little girl. Um,
Yeah.
right now, her mom. Let's be clear. Her mom is in prison, doing a couple years for forgery. So therefore, Rika was left in the care of her father and this stepmother. And the people who live in this house, now I haven't been able to find a list of how many other kids live in this house, but I'm guessing this is the only full black kid. Certainly the only kid probably that doesn't belong to this Baker woman. Said that Baker was just using Rika as her own personal punching bag. The
Oh.
horrific things that she did, and there's video. I would like to put there is video of what this woman was doing to this child. The father knew what this woman had been doing to this child the whole time, and he seems to co-sign it. This was perfectly fine. So let's take for example. So the woman was only arrested. Baker was only arrested 4 months after the death of Rika, and it's because they did this investigation. Because Baker was questioned immediately after Rika's death, said, no, I didn't do nothing, right? And so they said, okay, cool. But then during this investigation, they found out a bunch of stuff. So here, I'm going to read this. So during their 3-month investigation, police uncovered cell phone videos of Baker abusing Rika by forcing her to strip naked and hold cans for long durations of time. The video shows that whenever Rika's arms would fall, Baker would put her hands around the child's neck and say, do I need to put a collar on you? In another video, Baker can be seen dragging Rika to her bedroom by the neck. Like during Baker's trial, the jury was shown multiple videos, including one of Baker kneeing Rika in the back before hitting her head against the wall. Like there are cell
Wow.
phone videos of this. This is not personal accounts. Finally, someone fessed up. There are cell phone videos of just years, the whole time that Rika was in the care of these two miscreants. She was being horribly abused. Now, what ended up happening this last time, and the reason why Rika died, was Baker kicked her. Just look at this little teeny tiny frail thing of a kid, and this big old Oompa Loompa woman kicked her in the stomach, and for days she had horrible stomach pain. They didn't bring her to the hospital until she became unresponsive. And so she was rushed to the hospital. They rushed her into surgery because she had internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, but she died on the table because it was too late at that point.
Oh.
Yes. Now, when the reason why, of course, they didn't want to bring her to the hospital is because she had, they said, 61 other areas, marks of clear evidence of abuse all over her body when she was brought to the hospital. 61. So now this I mean I can't tell whether, I mean, I'm guessing she was never in daycare or in the care of somewhere else that, obviously the very obvious marks in trauma on this kid's body would be visible. But what it comes down to is this, and what I don't understand is this, right? And I'm glad this woman
Mm-hmm.
was convicted. She's in prison. Maybe she'll get shanked. That would be great. Um, right? But what I don't understand is this: the father. I don't care how much you hate her mother. I don't care how much you never really want to be a dad. I don't care about any of that. How are you okay with, your offspring being treated
Mm-hmm.
like a dog? You have a white wife, an oompa loompa, ugly white wife. But anyway, you have a white wife, and your white wife really doesn't like black people. This is clear. Definitely doesn't like black women. Definitely does not like your black child. And so she's going to treat your child like she hates black children. And you somehow find this okay. You find this so acceptable that you and everyone else in your family sees it. You've got cell phone video of this. Y'all are you co-signed this happening to your little girl. And see, this is the thing I don't understand. Is this a case of you wish you were white, so to get white acceptance you're going to co-sign whatever your white step or wife or whatever she says? Is this a case of you hate the mother that much that you like seeing the little girl who looks just like her mom punished? Like, what was it, or how could it be that some type of instinct doesn't kick in as a parent, that when it's not even like, well, I just don't want anything to do with the kid, but now the kid is in your house, so I don't know what the situation was before that, but this is definitely your child. That child who's definitely yours is inside your house. How are you okay with your child being treated like this so regularly, so constantly, as such disgusting ways for so long? How are you okay with this?
She
Like,
was the breadwinner, wasn't she?
hmm, I'm not sure. That's a good point. Let me take a look through this. See if I can find that answer. Hmm. I don't know. Why so you think that this has to do with he didn't want to lose her bank account?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I see.
Hmm. Hmm.
What's
But I
I
mean,
wonder what's why he's buying into her sickness.
mm-hmm. Right. Like that's the part I just I understand why this piece of trash did it. I actually do. I'm not surprised by her. I'm
Hmm.
saddened, but I'm not surprised. I don't understand him. Um, let's see. It's not really saying in any of these articles. That would be a really great question to get an answer to, though. I mean, so the life, I mean, because if you think about it, right, to strip a little girl, this is a little girl, um, down naked, like you are sexually shaming a baby. This woman wanted to sexually shame your baby, and you were okay with this. Like, I don't know. I mean, I look at the picture of this woman's face. She didn't really look rich to me. So you were willing to trade your daughter's sexual shame and life and psychological, mental, emotional, physical comfort for what? Like a very mediocre existence?
Hmm. Yeah, I want some more details on that
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I'm thinking.
Hmm. Because I mean, this is a little 8-year-old girl. I don't care how bad she was. I don't care what kind of hell she gave you. She's a little bit mad. You know why? Because her mom's in prison. This is what kids do. They act out a little bit. But she's 8. She was 8 at the time of death, right? So given that the mom had 2.5 years, right? The They probably had her no longer than 2 of that, 2 years. So somewhere between 6 and 8 years old, you had this kid. I mean, how terrible could she really have been?
Hmm. That is so sad.
Yeah, yeah. And the 43-year-old the 43-year-old normal woman. Oh, is there a place called Normal? Like in
Yes.
America? Okay. I'm like, why are
I know
you
because we got a normal Illinois, so yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, because it's capital N. So I'm like, there's no way you're calling this woman normal as far as her behavior, her psyche, anything like that, because we all know this woman is not normal. So why why are you calling them normal? Okay, so there's a place called Normal. I mean, I'm looking at her. Even the clothing that she's got for court, it doesn't look expensive. It just doesn't. Um, so even if she was, but you know what though? No, because I'm gonna say she must not have been, unless she had some type of settlement or she had won the lotto or something like that. She could not possibly have been the breadwinner, because she was the one who was home with the kid to abuse the kid all day, every day. So he must have been working.
Okay, so why did he pick this woman to be his woman?
Mm. That is a good point. And that's why I'm wondering: is it the white is right thing? Finally, some white woman's giving you validation, which finally makes you feel like maybe you're somebody.
Hmm, inquiring minds. I want to know.
Right? Right? Like
Yes,
it's got
that's
to
the
be
type of stuff
something.
I want. I want the details.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you were right. See, the hospital is in Illinois.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely. So it's Normal, Illinois. That is such a
Oh.
weird thing to name a state. Anyway, sorry, or not a state, but a city. But yeah, okay. Yeah. So I don't see anybody really talking too much about that.
Oh, of course not.
No, nope, not at all. I mean, you literally even interestingly enough, oh, see, look, there was definitely a kid inside of this house. The kid belonged to Baker,
Hmm.
um, and she testified about the horrific abuse. And the kid was dressed in a plaid shirt, pants, and sneakers. Um, Now, that's a little girl. So, what I'm going to say is that they are definitely not rich. I would actually add the fact that this woman hated the fact that they had to take care of this kid because it was taking away from the money that she was getting from this man working to feed her own kids and take care of her own kids. Also, the attention, obviously, that she and her own kids were getting. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say that, and then it comes down to why the white woman? Why allow this woman to do this to your kids? Why are you okay with this? And I mean, it's either self hate, hate of the woman who that kid is the mother of that kid. It's something. It's something. And I hope, because I'm not really seeing a lot of speaking about the father of this little girl. Like, I see people mention the fact that he clearly knew, though. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see anyone say anything about him being arrested, or about, obviously he wasn't a co-defendant. I don't see anything. Yeah, I'm not. Oh wait, I think I see it. Oh no, man's girlfriend arrested. See, it's like he's just, is he being protected? Like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I love that you brought that up. I am going to do some research on that. And I am going to try to find that out. I don't think I'm going to be able to find enough information because everything is just about her conviction right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and maybe we could do a round two next week. If I can find more information and we can get more of those answers, maybe I can find a round two
Okay.
for this. Yeah. Hold, my choking cough is back. Oh, hold on.
Oh, okay. No problem. Let me clear my throat. Or however it
Yes.
goes.
For me, it's the stupid sinus infection and the drip, drip, drip down the back of my throat. So it'll like catch and like tickle, and you're like, I'm gonna choke.
I hear you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the winter. I can't
Oh,
wait till the spring. All right.
okay. I'm with you on that one.
hmm But yes, that was the big story I wanted to talk about this week, just because,
Mhm.
it comes back down to, again, and see, the thing is, let me just give my final thoughts on this one, that, we really talk a lot about um, how women allow men who are nothing, they're terrible guys, you know what I mean, or abusing their kids or whatever, and you just let them wander into your house and blah 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 and whatever. So we don't often talk about the other side.
Uh-huh.
um, we don't often talk about the fact that in the statistics, actually, and it depends on different groups of people, but there are definitely statistical groups that favor stepmothers are more likely to kill the children that they are step parenting to than stepfathers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right. So now, I mean, this is actually a risk. Now, this one made the news, right? This one made the reports, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. And that doesn't mean that stepmothers. We think of women as nurturing. They might be very nurturing with their kids, with the kids that y'all two share. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be nurturing stepmothers to their stepchildren.
That's true.
Yeah, so I wanted to pull this out to highlight, not the, oh well, men make bad choices too in mates. No, that's not my point. My point is that we need to analyze if we are allowing our step person, I don't care if it's man or woman, step wife or husband, whatever, to treat our children poorly, to hurt our children, to victimize our children in some way. And we seem okay with this. We even feel we're a little bit gleeful about this. Someone who's doing this. Like, they need to start analyzing themselves. They need to go to therapy. Something needs to get done, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be allowing anybody we should be having this fight constantly on the other side where it's like, like,
Uh-huh.
how dare you discipline my kids? Like, we should be, and we have to be like, come on, you got to let your spouse discipline the kids sometimes, but like, we should be having
Yeah.
that fight, not this fight where it's like, seriously, you're going to let this woman damn near kill your daughter? Oh wait, no, now you let the woman kill your daughter? Oh, your daughter was in that much pain for that many days, and you wanted to protect your wife going to prison more than you wanted to protect your kid dying. Okay, cool. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so all these social issues we're bringing up today, Jesus.
Okay.
A lot of analyze yourself material today. All right.
Right. Analyze yourself.
Mhm.
And just to let you know, the wind has picked up since the stream has started. I hear it out there.
Mhm.
It's saying,
Mhm.
woo! I'm going, no!
Yeah. If they shy, you better bring your scarf tomorrow, or you've
Yes, I
learned
will.
nothing at all. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
I'm that bad fellow wrapped around. Oh, I barely see through them glasses, but I don't care. I'm be ready.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You better be.
I'm tired of this. This ain't working for me. It's not working at all.
Mm. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I just want to see. So, because Mon asked a question, she said, did he feel like he was picking a better role model in this woman because her mother was in prison? Now,
Hmm.
that's an interesting question, and we gotta check back this chat more often. I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, I
But
am too. I'm guilty.
right, yeah. But that being said, ladies, this is a good time for me to say that by all means, if you have a thought or a question, you could always just jump onto the panel and just say it up here. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. Because I ain't calling no names. The same. Um, but yeah, no, for real. And that is a good question because for some people, their own experiences might have been so bad, actually, that they might think that. Well, she's not a criminal, though. My mama was in prison too, and all the women I know are criminals. She's not a criminal. This is discipline.
Mm.
Maybe he didn't know better. Maybe that is how bad his own personal experience was. That comparatively, she was a good role model.
Consider that love, huh? Okay. You never
Exactly.
know.
Right.
What is love? Baby, don't beat me.
Thank you.
Don't beat me no more.
No more. Right? Damn.
Hmm.
Just saying.
I don't want that kind of love. You
Mm,
can keep that one. Don't love me that much,
right?
honey.
I don't want it either.
Yeah, but
I'm good. I'll
seriously,
be loveless.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, but seriously, that his experience, if it's not the money part, he actually could have experienced that and think that's his normal in normal Illinois.
Mm. I don't even want to know what normal Illinois is all about if that's normal. That's all I'm saying. They're redefining normal in all the worst ways over there. So
Okay, with that
stay.
one. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Damn. Oh boy. Well, at least again, I'm gonna look into this though, y'all. I'll update you. I want to know what the hell's happening with this father. Um, I think that this father. Oh, and thank you, GG Music, for posting the link in the chat. See, we're terrible with interacting with the chat. We need to get better at doing this. Um, yeah, but I really think at the end of the day, we need to get better at this, man. We got to get better at preventing these things before they start, obviously, but preventing them before they turn into death. Um,
Yeah. And what's that? When you see something, say something. Was the little girl going to school, in the grocery store, seen anything? Just say something. She went
right.
left the house.
There's gym class. You're trying to tell me in gym class every time this kid changed, no one ever saw anything ever.
Hmm.
But if she was in the white side of town, going to the white school, which is another thing, right? Maybe it's a better school. She's
Mhm.
going to the white school, the white side of town, and so this school's
Mhm.
better. Are they looking too
Mm.
hard at the one black kid? Do they care too much about the one black kid and a couple weird bruises? When the
Mm.
person raising her is a white woman, do they want to send a fellow white woman to prison?
Ah, there you go.
Right? I want everybody. That is so. This is the school now too. We're talking about schools, the counselors, the gym teachers, the school. I want to know because I am positive. You can't tell me that all of them didn't. No one saw anything for years. No one saw anything. This kid had to be in school. She's 8. Initially, I mean, she's
Mhm.
so tiny. I honestly thought maybe
Yeah.
she was 5 or 6. I forgot she was 8.
Yeah, she
Because her
looked like
picture's
she's
taken out.
6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right? She's an
small.
8-year-old. It's illegal. So I mean, unless she was being homeschooled, there's someone at fault in that school. That father is at fault. I don't care. There are other adults in that family that had to have seen something, and you're trying to tell me all of them protected this white woman. Um, and when we see it, like when we say that all the wrong kind of women are protected, sometimes, like god damn. Um, this woman had no business being protected. I don't care how good she was to all the other kids. It seems as though for how good she was to all the other kids, she was just as bad uh, to this one, Rika. And you know what? The sad thing is, this, and I would wonder this because her kids seem quite content to tell the truth about their mama,
Mhm.
even though they know it's going to send her to prison. So they might love their mom, but their mom might have been very, very abusive to them actually um, before she got Rika, before they got Rika. And unfortunately, I mean, it's self-preservation. But if someone is abusing you constantly, your whole life is abuse every single day, constantly, as a kid, and then some new kid moves into your house, into your life, and now you're not getting abused anymore. Are you too concerned about the kid who is? Like,
Mm. That's a possibility.
right? But let's be real. Because I could tell you, and I'm thinking about myself being 8 or you don't care when the teacher starts picking on some other kid, just as long as they're not picking on you. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
you don't care if the bullies are picking on some other kid, just as long as they're not picking on you. Like, you're a kid and you're just trying to get by. You just want to live yourself. So you might feel bad for the other kid. You know what I mean? You might try to give the other kid tips and tricks on how to not make her as mad or whatever, but you
Uh-huh.
don't want to take that pain on unless you're like the eldest sibling in a bunch of siblings, which I find, that's the case. A lot of elder siblings, they'll say they took on abuse from certain people. Um, let's say sexual abuse. They tried to protect their younger siblings from the sexual abuse or physical abuse by standing in the line of fire for the younger ones because they
Uh-huh.
were already taking it, right? So you do see that. But overall, when you got a bunch of kids who are approximately the same age, and especially if it's like a foster or a step situation,
Yeah.
you're going to be on your own. And
Mhm.
I would wonder, but I'm going to say I think that she probably was. She's probably a very mean, abusive person. It's just she finally had a funnel for her hate and her rage. And yay, it happens to be black. That's so much better, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I'm going to think. That is my well, no, I'm not going to say that is my final thought on that. It's not because I'm going to do research. I'm going to look for this father because I don't understand why every single news story, he is just interestingly absent in every single story. Like I don't understand other than the father knew about it too. What's the father's name even? Where's his father? Why aren't we talking about the father at all? I don't understand this. So yeah, I'm
Mhm.
going to go on a hunt for him because something's got to be done. Something's got to be done to expose him too, because this was his kid. He lived inside of this house. Um, you know, even the mother is quoted inside of the article. The mother's quoted in the article as her saying she blames herself. She's blaming herself too because she was in prison. If she wasn't in prison, she would have had custody of her kid, or she would have been able to sit there, see the signs, and do something about it. So she's blaming herself just as much as she's blaming the father for her role. So where's the father blaming himself? I don't see any notes from him. I don't see any mention of him. Like, where's he? Why isn't he all over this?
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, honey, if you can come up with some details on that, that's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. I
Mhm.
always like to know more than the little bit they give me. I
Yes.
always wanted more. And I'm telling you, if I can get funded to do research like that and go to different cities and knock on doors and get testimony and figure stuff out, I would love that. Because I just
Mhm.
love conclusions. I'd be wanting to know why, why. I really
Yes.
want to know why.
Always. Yes. I see we are both the same with that. And I think that's why maybe, we like the same stories, same element, because I'm like, I want to know why. I don't need to know just what. I need to know why. Why did this happen? Why do you think that way? Why did you go on like that? Why did the system allow this to happen? And why are we mentioning the dad? Why? Someone tell me.
Yeah, give me details. I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Well, what I'm going to do because there is a show that's about to start or has started, and I'm
Oh.
going to end this one. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the judge and jury segment.
Mm.
And
Mm.
now the picture isn't as clear. I can't help that. Um,
Uh-oh.
I tried. So the picture is not as clear. I'm just going to warn you about that. But
Mm.
I think you'll be able to see it. You just probably have to focus, and focus is good.
It is. Focus saves lives. All right.
Yeah, focus is good. So I'll just need you people to focus.
It's a
And
gavel.
well, you're pretty good with that. You're
Right?
pretty good.
I
but
thought so too.
but I'm about to start the judge and jury segment of the show, everyone. And this is the part of the show where I bring something up and I judge it, and then we end the show. Now I'm going to share this picture. Again, as I said, it's going to be a little difficult to see, but I think if you focus just a little bit, you'll be able to see. Um, I will say the top right, you're going to see like a little shrivel line. This is the inside of a microwave. The
Oh,
picture is actually crooked, but hey, um, you'll be able to see it if you just look a little close. Can you see everyone? Can you see it? Can you see that little
I'm scared of seeing.
shrivel?
Yes.
Can you see that? Well, what happened to me is I was minding my business. I'm in line, I'm ready to warm up my stuff in the microwave. And the lady's standing up there. She got her food in there and she's stroking her weave and just, passing the time as her food is warming up. And as she's stroking, like Clarence Carter, she'd be stroking. She was stroking that weave. So after she finished stroking it, I guess some kind of way, that piece of weave, that strand there,
Oh.
is inside of the microwave after she took her stuff out.
Um. Oh no, no.
So she
Mm-mm.
goes away, and it's my turn, and I stand there and I look like, what the, lady? And I
Mm,
just, so I went on and got a napkin and I removed it.
mm,
And yeah, I removed it and I said, okay, well, I guess that's what we get for her, stand up here stroking it because you're stroking her hair and everything. So that's what ended up happening. And she left her weave back there, a couple of strands with that particular strand. And I didn't care for that,
mm, mm,
you know. Now,
mm,
I know she was looking for something to do while she was, while it was warming up, and that's fine. But, when you're doing that, playing with your hair, because this is a kitchen area, you know, you, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because it affects other people. And that stuff shred. It shreds. So I was a little
Mm,
disappointed, as I said, because now I got to take time and clean out the microwave, clean out her strand of hair and use the microwave. Ladies, stop playing with your weave. Stop stroking it in the kitchen area anyway. We use the cabinets and all these different things, and microwave. We don't need that hair. We don't need that. Even if it's artificial, even if it's real. I don't want to deal with that, okay? So keep your
mm,
strands to yourself. I really appreciate that. So for this young woman, um, I sentenced her to no weave. She's only
mm.
allowed to wear her own hair.
Char, how can you
That
be
is
so
her
harsh?
punishment. That
Don't,
is
don't be
her
so harsh,
punishment because she won't
girl.
play it on hair. She
She
only
didn't
plays
murder
in hair.
somebody. What's
She
wrong with you?
only plays in stuff that's not what that she bought. So I figured if I stripped her from that weave, I ain't gotta worry about no hair in the microwave. She gonna stand there, wait for her stuff to warm up, take it out, and move on. So
No, Shar, no. She didn't murder someone. You don't have to be so harsh, okay? Like, maybe allow her, weave on weekends or something. You know what I mean? Like, we don't gotta be so mean to each other. See, this is why I can't use communal microwaves. I can't. I literally can't. I cannot bring lunches that require me to heat them up to work.
uh-huh.
I've never been able to do it because I'm so grossed out by communal microwaves between splatter up in there because people are ignorant and leave their stuff open when they heat. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't even use my own microwave if it's dirty, let alone I open a microwave. It smells like a bunch of other people's food. There's some piece of splatter on the top of it or so. I can't do it. I can't. I can't. Then now you got people with their hair all up in. No, nope, nope. It's okay. I'll eat a sandwich. I could eat chips. I could eat a chocolate bar. I will eat anything as long as I do not have to put it in that communal microwave. I am so serious. I'll eat a salad. I'm telling you, I'll bring anything to work that does not need to be heated up. If it needs to be heated up and I have no choice but to pack it, I will just, however warm it got between the morning time and lunchtime, is how warm it's going to be when I eat it. And I'm being so serious. Like, I will not eat something if I have to put it in a communal microwave. They're just gross. I'm sorry. They're just gross. They're just gross. I can't do it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's my sentence. No weave for her. I have ruled.
Yay! The gavel sound is back. All right. No, Ruby trying to make it herself with the water bottle on the wall. All right.
Thank you guys for tuning in this week. We appreciate it. Um, so far, 7 o'clock seems to be pretty good, so we'll continue that until you say something different.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, you are welcome to join the panel. All you have to do is just say something in the chat room. No problem. Next week, I'll have a few more topics, and we may go a little bit longer. Um, I have a little extra time now, and
Mm.
we'll see what we can come up with.
Yes, yes. That's our pre-Christmas special. Let's see how it's gonna go down, ladies. You better prepare yourselves to get on the panel. Just saying, not calling out any names, but y'all know who I'm talking to. All right. Uh,
Thank you again, everyone. We really appreciate you coming by, stopping by, talking in the chat, thumbs up, contributing to the channel. It's all contributions, it's all contributing. We thank you so much for it
mhm.
and hope to see you this time next week. And until then, peace.
Cheers, y'all.